Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode, I believe, 11 of the Glimmith playthrough. We're at 379 solved, and let us jump right back in. So, we have a choice. We can either go into minimum, all regions have an area of at least X, or we can go to mismatch, all regions must have different shapes. I think let's go to Hobbitville. It feels more isolated than this area, although I guess this area is also somewhat isolated. I assume like it's not gonna bleed in here, but for all I know, Hobbitville is gonna move this way as well. We'll see. At any rate, let's go to Hobbitville. Precision 4, all regions must have different shapes. So this happens. And now, in Tetris, we have 5 possible shapes. I, LJ, SZ, 2x2, and T. And we have already used this, this, and this. So we still need to use these two. They have to be here. This can't be the 2x2. So the 2x2 is elsewhere. This is obviously a different color, so this happens. All regions must have different shapes. We already have a 1x1, so corners must expand. We don't have a 2x... We have a 1x3, so this can't go there, and it can't go there, so it must be this. Rose window. Mismatch, we already have a 1x1, so all corners must expand. We already have a 1x2, so this has to grow. Corners must expand, that's forced. Corners must expand, we already have all the size 2, so we have to at least be size 3. We already have 1x3, so this must grow. And this has to be yellow or green. And it cannot be yellow because then yellow and green are the same, so it must be green. Mismatch, polyomino. This can only be a 2x2 like that. This has options. This is a 1x1, so all corners must expand. This now has to do that. All corners must expand. This cannot go there, must go there. It cannot be this shape, must grow. This now is forced to do that. This cannot be a 1x2, it cannot be a 1x3, it must grow. This can only do that. This now can't be this shape, so it goes there. Okay. This, only that tile can be a dead end. Every other tile is part of a 2x2, and also the dead end expands into a 1x3. And now either this happens or that happens. This, the dead end, always is a 1x3, and then either that, which is no good because it creates 2 1x1s, which breaks mismatch, so therefore this must happen. And now, either 1x1 or 1x2 exists now, and it can't be 2 1x1s, so this must be a 1x2. Okay. So now this can't do that because this breaks, so it must do this. I wasn't done. It must do that. This is now a 1x1, so all corners must expand. That shape is locked. All corners must expand. This can't be a 1x2. Can't leave a 1x1, so this happens. We have 5 possible shapes, each of size 5. And we have 5, 9, 13, 20 tiles. 20 tiles. And 4 possible shapes of size 5. So all shapes must exist. Okay. One of each of these shapes exist. So let's start with this corner. It must expand. And then if it's this shape, then it's exactly that. It cannot be this shape. If it's this shape, then it's exactly that. And if it is this shape, then it is exactly this. So there is no overlap between those. There's overlap between these two cells, but this one doesn't overlap with either of those, so we don't know anything yet. Is there a way in which we can prove that it cannot be this? The answer is almost, because now this needs a 1x3 into a 1x3, which can only now exist here and nowhere else, I believe. And this breaks. So I guess that way we can prove that this shape is not possible here. And yeah, because this is the only cell that sees 1x3s in 2 directions. There's no other cell that could be the corner cell here. This corner cell is part of 2 orthogonal 1x3s, and only this cell can do that in this board configuration. And so this shape is not possible here, which means it can only be this or this, because it can't be the U, and we've proven it can't be the S. So it's the P or the L. The P can only be that, the L can only be that, so this must always happen. And now either that or that gets picked up. In both cases, this exists. Okay. And if it is the P, then where could the L go? Could be here, but that's no good. There's no good. There is no good. So it cannot be the P, because again the L is just... This L is the most difficult shape to fit into this board. So it has to be the L, in fact. And now this breaks, so it's not the L. What? Well, where can the L go? Oh, the L... No, that's no good either. That's no good. That's no good. That's no good. That's no good. Is there something I broke here? Like, where else can the L be? If the L is there, this breaks, no? Yeah, nothing else can be there. So this is possible somehow? I don't see where the L can go in this scenario. Oh, it can still go here. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay. My bad. Alright. Okay, so then I don't know anything there. I mean, I saw the solution. Like, the solution is this, but I don't want to cheat. Anyway, we know this is one of 3 options. This, or that. If it's this, then the L cannot exist anywhere. Because that's no good, that's no good, and that is no good. And no other options exist. If it's the L instead, then this breaks. So it can't be the L or the P. So we can just say it has to be this. And now the L cannot be here. The only other place it could be is here, so it has to be there. Now this has to be at least size 5. Yeah, I guess that's the solution. Mismatch. These size 5 shapes exist. Corners must expand. If these are not the same region, then this happens. And in that case, this can only be that shape. On the other hand, if they are the same region, then they cannot be the S, they cannot be the staircase, the zigzag, they cannot be the P, and they cannot be the L. So they can never be the same, so this must happen. This now can only be the zigzag. This can't be the P or the L, it must be the S. This has to be at least size 5, and we're done. What is this tutorial? New mechanic. We're not gonna look at that for now. 1 by 1 is done, so all corners must expand. 1 by 2 is done. All corners must expand. 1 by 3 is done. Both of these have to expand because neither can be a 1 by 2. This can't be a 1 by 3, so it has to expand. And this can't be a 1 by 3, so it has to expand. Okay. This forces that. This forces this. This forces that. This does that. And what else is there? We see that each of these 4 regions are somewhat similar. We also have this. So what do we know? We know that this can't be that shape because then this breaks. So this either has to go there or there, at least. It could also grow to be the whole thing. We know this. I think there's something we know. I think we know a 1 by 1 is forced either in this region or this region. Because if neither region has a 1 by 1... Well, no, because it could be this. But we know either a 1 by 1 or a 1 by 2 is forced between these 2 regions. And we also know that the same is true here. This already has a 1 by 1 or a 1 by 2. So the question is, how could these 2... Yeah. So the only way is for one of these 2 regions to fully encompass their area. I believe. So this is a 1 by 1 or a 1 by 2. If it's a 1 by 1, this happens. And then either this... Oh, wait, sorry, what am I doing, dude? What am I doing? This can only be that. Now that's a 1x1 or a 1x2, and that's specifically a 1x2. So this can be a 1x2, so it's a 1x1. Corners now must expand. Corners must expand. This has to grow. It can't go there, must grow. Corners must expand. 1x2 is not possible. 1x3. Corners must expand. This is a full shape. This now cannot be a full shape. And if it grows, it will force a 1x1 or a 1x2, which is not possible, so it cannot grow. And then corners must expand, and that's forced. Okay. All regions must have different shapes. And palisade. Okay, so this is forced to visit one of its brethren, and it must be this, because if it's this, then this will form a 1x2 somewhere, and this will form a 1x2 somewhere, so it has to be that. And now none of these can visit each other, or else they would form a 1x2. Okay. Furthermore, the ones that are completed must expand, and they cannot be 1x2s, so they have to expand further. 1x2 not possible. Triangle not possible. This break? No, it doesn't break. Triangle not possible. That's forced. This now has to expand further. 1x2 not possible. 1x3 is still possible. 1x2 not possible. 1x3 forced. Can't be 1x3. Cannot be LJ. Must grow. 1x2 not possible. If it doesn't visit this, then it's forced to be 1x3 or LJ. Both are not allowed, so it must visit that. This now has to happen. Triangle not possible, must grow. Forced to be Tetris T. 1x1s are still possible, so this corner does not have to expand. But this cannot avoid visiting north, because then it's either a 1x2 or a triangle, which are both not allowed, so it must always go there. And it's also not able to avoid going this way, because then it's either a 1x3 or a T, so it must also do that. These are not the same region. This can't be a 1x2, it cannot be a triangle, it cannot visit this, so it must go there. This can't be an LJ, so it must go there. Oh, there's a difficulty 6 here. This either does exactly that, or it does something like this. But one of its orientations forces a 1x3. This one yeah, these are interesting pieces here. Ah, wait, we see something here. This must happen. This now has to do that. This is either a 1x1 or a 1x2 or a triangle. It cannot go further than that. So that is interesting. This is either a 1x1 or a 1x2, or this can't happen, right? It can't be that. So if that goes, wait, so can this go this way though? I think it still can. This can make at most that shape, but that's not possible because, yeah, whatever this is, it has to be a different color from all of these because it can't expand further than this. So because we know this is a different color from all of these, and there's some other pattern we see. This is going to be a forced 1x1. Here's a pattern we see. If this is horizontal, it will do that, which forces that to be vertical, which forces this to be horizontal, which forces this to be vertical, which locks this in. On the other hand, if this is vertical, then the opposite happens. In fact, well, yeah, it can still be vertical. Point is, this is isolated in the middle, no matter what. So it's now a 1x1. This either has to form a 1x2 or a triangle. This cannot be a 1x1, so it must either become a 1x2 or do that. This can't be a 1x1, so it must do this, and it forces a 1x2. So now this can't be a 1x1, it can't be a 1x2, so it must do that, and it forms a triangle. This now can't go west. This must happen, it must expand. These are different, this must expand. These are different. This now has to do this. Triangles are done, so this has to expand either here or here. Oh wait, it's this. So it can't be a triangle, it must expand. These are different, this expands. Cannot be a 1x2. This is either green or yellow. If this is horizontal, it's a 1x3. If this is yellow, this happens. But yellow could still expand. If it's green, then yellow has to grow. This can't be a 1x1, can't be a 1x2. These are different regions. This would have to do that then. A lot of forced steps there, if that's green. What happens if these are different? Can't be a triangle. Ah, That's what I should have seen. This cell. This cell cannot be that, because it can't be a 1x1, and here it would be forced to be a 1x2. So this cell has to go there, which causes this to happen. And now it can't go there, because it breaks this. This can be a 1x1. It has to expand. These are different. This happens. This can't be a triangle, it must expand. This can't be a 1x2, must expand. This is now forced. These are different. This can be a 1x1, must expand. Can't be the same as that. And then now... this cannot be horizontal, because it would lock two of the same shapes in together. So it must be vertical. So that's forced. And then... this is yellow or green. Oh, this is now horizontal. This can be a triangle, must expand. This can't be a 1x1 or a 1x2. That expands. That's now vertical. These are different regions. This is now horizontal. This can't be a 1x2. These are different regions. This is now closed. This now forces this to not be able to avoid picking that up, so it must. This can be a 1x3. This cannot be a different color from green and orange, because if it is, it can be a 1x1. And whichever way it expands, it would become a 1x2 if it's different from green and orange. So this is green or orange. Green or orange. Ah, green. Okay, green can't do this, because now wherever this goes, what is that? So the key insight to see here is that these two cells are different colors. The reason they cannot be the same color is because if they tried to be, they would either have to go through here, which is no good, or through here, which is again no good, because that can be isolated, but it also can't go there. So, if this and this are different colors, the reason green can't do that is because now either this happens, because we can't isolate any of these as 1x1s. Either that happens, which breaks it, or that happens, which breaks it, and this can't happen. So green can't be a 1x3, it must grow. And we know that this tile is different than green. We also know this. We now also know... what do we know? Oh, wait, red, this shape already exists. So this has to grow. And now... does LJ? LJ also exists, so this must also grow. Done. Mismatch palisade. Okay. This either causes a 1x1 to exist, or yeah, this tile. Either it picks this up, in which case it's a 1x2, or it doesn't pick it up, and then a 1x1 exists. So right now, from here, either a 1x1 or 1x2 exists. But the same is true here. Either this picks it up and that causes a 1x2, or it doesn't pick it up and it causes 1x1. And clearly, both of these cannot avoid picking that up, because then two 1x1s exist. So one of them must pick it up. And once it does, it causes a 1x2, so then this can't. So right now, both 1x1s and 1x2s exist. Here or here. Like either that or that. So that can't be a 1x1. 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 Which causes this, this, and this. So now this has to grow. This can't be a 1x1. These are different regions. It also can't be a 1x2. This now can't go there. This must grow, which causes that must grow, that. I wasn't done. This can't be a 1x1. There's a border here. That can't be a 1x1. Now I'm done. Okay, same thing happens here. 1x1 and 1x2s are formed. If this doesn't pick that up, this must, and then 1x1, 1x2, and the opposite is true. So 1x1 and 1x2 are not possible, so we must grow past that. This is not possible because this would... Well, yeah. This can't pick that up, because if it picks it up, this would happen, and now this has to expand, and it can't be that, so it just breaks. So we have to do that. Also, this is true. 1x1s have to expand, 1x2s have to expand. 1x1s have to expand now from here as well. And triangles have to expand. This is not the same as that or that. I wasn't done. 1x1s have to expand, 1x1s have to expand. Now I am done. Uniqueness, says the achievement. Restore the mismatch window. Okay. Precision 5. Corners must expand. These cannot join. This now can't make that shape. This can't be the same as that shape. So this is some new shape, and no matter what, it has not enough room, so it must see that, so it must see this. And now it can't go there. This has to grow. This now, no matter what, it must go there, and it can't go here or here. So it must be this. This has to expand. It can't go there, so it must go there. Corners must expand. Whatever color this is different from this. And this, no matter what, has to go there, and it has to pick the rest up. Now this is forced to do this shape. Here it would be the same as yellow, so it must be here, and yellow picks up the rest. If this happens, then that happens. And that, I think, breaks the puzzle. So that can't happen, this must happen. Now if this happens, No, let's look elsewhere. Let's look at this area. So in that area, I believe this cannot happen, right? Because then... No, it could. If it happens, then it causes 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3. Which I think breaks the puzzle. Because this couldn't now happen. Whatever that does, it breaks. So we cannot draw that. So we must draw this. And now if we draw this, the puzzle breaks. No, it doesn't. Either that happens, or that happens. Always 1 by 1, so all corners would have to expand. And the puzzle would break. So we can't draw this vertical either, so we have to do that. It can be the same as this though. This now has to be a 1 by 2. And now again we can't do that, so we have to do this. So then... Oh, I see the solution accidentally. The solution is this. That's the solution. Oh, I know something. These can both be 1 by 1, so one of them has to expand at least. And then either it will create a 1 by 1 or a triangle, but that's okay. That doesn't tell us anything. What would force 1 by 2? This, we cannot draw this border. If we draw that border, obviously if that's a 1 by 3, then this has to have a 1 by 2, which breaks the puzzle. And if that's not a 1 by 3, then it has to have a 1 by 2, which breaks the puzzle. So this must happen. And it can be a 1 by 2, so we must do that, that, or that. If we do that, that's a 1 by 2, the puzzle breaks, so we cannot do that. So 1 by 1 is forced. Every corner now must expand. I wasn't done. Every corner must expand, and this is not a 1 by 2. Okay, there we go. Now I'm done. Precision 4. So corners expand. This cannot pick both of those up, so it must... At most, it can pick one up, so it has to go there. It can be the same as this. This now, even if it goes there, it couldn't join. So even if it goes there, it must still go this way. These have to be different. That happens. This now can't go up, so it must go this way. Corner expand, 4, 4. And that's also 4. Size 1, corners expand. Size 2 forced. Has to expand. Has to expand. And has to expand. And now this couldn't go there, so it has to close. I wasn't done. This closes, so this has to expand, that has to expand. Polyomino. The gap for this can't be here or here. Or no, sorry, it can, because 1x1s are possible. Mismatch polyomino. Okay, mismatch means these two are the same region. They could either create a 1x1 or join like that. In both cases, these are all the same region. These have to be the same region. And they cannot... They can only join like that. No other shape is possible. Because... well, because that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's why. That is my proof here. Accept it or not, that's just how the cookie crumbles. This needs to have a 1x3 somewhere. And the 1x3... well, it could be there, I guess. Let's think about this. It has... this option creates a 1x1. This option doesn't. This option does. This option creates a 1x1 and a 1x2. This creates either 1x3. Let's think about this. Here, this creates a 1x1 and a 1x2, or... I think something is forced about this shape right now. What is forced? We know it's not this. And we know it's not that. Where can the gap be? The gap can't be here. Because around the gap forms a C. C can't form there, so that's not... that's not the gap. So does that mean that this must belong to this? Because if it doesn't... no, it could still not belong like that. Although now... well, things are still possible. Okay, hold on. But... the C can only form here, not there. So it can only form there and there, right? So it's either this or that. So in all cases, these are the same region. And so the options are... if we pick this up, then... oh yeah, actually. So this is not possible. Because this can only lead to this, I think. No other option is possible here, I believe. In this shape, every 1x2 is either part of a 1x3, which this cannot be here horizontally, or one of them is part of a 1x3. One of the two tiles that are part of a 1x2 are always one of the tiles part of a 1x3. So either that happens, but this is no good, because this would have to happen and it breaks. So then this must happen. And here, we still need to fit another 1x3 orthogonally, which can only exist there, but that breaks. So these can never be together, so they must be separate. And this now either does that, or... so like if it goes there, it must do this. And if it doesn't go there, then it just breaks, doesn't it? Yeah, then it just breaks. Okay, so it must go there, it must do this, that's a 1x1. This can't do that now, so it must do this, that's a 1x2. And so now this can't do that. If it goes here, it can't go here because it would do that or that. So it must do that. 1x1s are done, so corners expand, these join and we're done. Mismatch polyomino. We have same shapes here, so they have to be together. And it can't go there, therefore, or there. They must move towards each other, and therefore it must only be that. These are the same as well. So they can't visit here or else they break. So they must go through here, and that forces this. These are the same, so this has to come out. They could not go through there, so they go through here. This must be a 1x2. These are also the same, and they have options. But the 1x4 that connects them can't be here, because it would create a 1x2. So, and the 1x4 can't be here. So the 1x4 must be vertical. It can't be in this column, so it must be exactly here. Which creates a 1x1, so now all corners must expand. This cannot do that, so it must do that. 1x2s are no good. This can't be a 1x1, so it must join either red or purple. It can't join purple because it would create that shape, so purple has to do that. This has to do this. I wasn't done. Corners have to expand, 1x2s have to expand, triangles have to expand, and now I'm done. Precision 5. Okay, this has to do that or that, so this can't do either of those things. It must do this. It wasn't done, dude. This now is forced to fill, this is forced to fill. Okay. Precision 5. One of these two has to visit that, because if neither does, they make the same shape. So now this shape is done and that shape is done. This is not possible. No, it is. Sorry, I made a mistake. This can't do that. So this can't do that. This can't do that. This now can't do this. This now has to expand there and pick these up. Corner expansion. This can't go up because if it goes... No, it can. Sorry. No, this one can't go here. So it goes there. This has to do this. Corner expansion. And now... What can this be? This cannot happen, because if it happens, then this happens, that happens, and then either that or that. Neither of which is good. So this must happen. It can't do that, so this happens. And now, do we have this shape already? Yes, we do. So it has to do this. Corner expansion, and that has to pick these up, done. We have metallicized, so we have unlocked hidden puzzles, so let's go back. and see where we can find hidden puzzles. There's stuff down there, so let's go do those. Rose windows. So this happens. This, even if it goes through there, it will hit a dead end, so it must still go through there. Dude, what are these colors? These are different. This has to do this. This must belong there. Okay. And now... green can't pick this up, because then... Or no, wait. Hold on. So let's see. If red does that, yellow does that. Then now... Well, that's fine, actually. That's red or yellow. If it's yellow, then blue can't go up, but it can't stay still, and it can't go right. So this can't be yellow, so it must be red. And now yellow must expand. And now one of these two have to pick it up. Green can't, so blue has to. Rose windows. One by one is done, so corner expansion. I'll take a quick break, be right back. All right. So what do we know? What is it that we know? I believe we know that this, even if this picks this up, it still has to go up, because it can't be a one by one, and if it doesn't pick that up, it goes up. If it picks that up, it creates a one by two, and it has to go up. So it has to always go up. And then it can't go there, obviously, because it creates two one by twos. And now this has to expand to get one of the circles. If it expands there, it creates a 1 by 2. If it expands there, it creates a 1 by 2. So 1 by 2s are forced here between these two. So this has to expand. This has to expand. Everything has to expand and not be a 1 by 1 or a 1 by 2. This can't be a triangle. This can't be a 1 by 1. Ah, this can't be a triangle. And now 1 by 3s are off limit, as are 1 by 4s. 1 by 3 not allowed, 1 by 4 not allowed. 1 by 5 is still allowed. So size 1, 2, and 3 regions are not allowed because we've exhausted all shapes of size 1, 2, and 3. So everything has to be at least size 4, which means that this, even if it picks that up, it would still need to go at least there. So it goes there no matter what. And now it still has to go somewhere. Yeah, now this, even if it goes left, it must still go right. And what that means is what? It means this can be at most size 5, and we know it can't be size 1, 2, or 3. So it's size 4 or 5 over here. If it's size 4 or 5, no matter what, it must pick that up. And this. The reason it must pick that up is because if it tries not to, then it's forced to be size 3, which breaks. So it must pick these two up at least. Okay. And now it must pick at least one, if not both of those up. But I think blue needs this. I don't think purple can take that away from blue, because now blue, to reach at least size 4, because it can't be 1, 2, or 3, it has to be 4 or above. For that, even if blue takes that, it would have to take this. And then this is forced to take that, so blue is forced to take this. And that is actually fine, actually, never mind. And that is the solution, but I'm not gonna cheat like that. So blue doesn't actually need to take this. I was mistaken. What is it that we know? I guess I see something. I see that blue can't take both of those. But it also can't take neither. So we know... Yeah, it can't take neither of these, because then it's at most that. So we know blue takes that or that. But... Here is something interesting. If blue takes this, then it's cut off and it has to do that shape. And if blue takes this, then it's cut off and it has to do that, that, or that. It can't do just that, so it have to do either specifically that or that. But here it would be cut off. So I think blue always has to make an LJ shape, no matter what. So it's either this, or if it's not that, then this, this, and purple can't pick both of those up because it would force these two shapes to be the same. And so purple can't only pick that up, so it would have to pick that up. Blue would go there. Okay, so that means that blue either does this or that. Either way, it's an LJ. But no one else is threatening to be an LJ, so that doesn't help. I guess we see this can't go there, right? Yeah, I guess we see that, because if it does, this has to expand, and this is forced to be a size 3. So that happens. So S, Z are out of the picture, but that doesn't help either, because no one was threatening to be an SZ. So now, if that happens, then this has to expand, and... oh, that doesn't change anything. Does it? Maybe this can't happen. Let's see. If that happens, then this still needs a tile. That still needs a tile. That still needs a tile. Oh, hang on. Okay, this, even if it picks this up, right? If it picked that up, blue would need those, and this would need to pick this up. And the puzzle would break. So I think this simply can't pick that up, because right now it can't be a 1x4. So this is, and it can't suffocate blue, so it would do that. But then blue and purple would suffocate these two. So yeah, this simply cannot go there. So it must go here. And so now this, if it picked both of these up, it would cause blue to suffocate these two shapes. So this can't pick both of them up. It can only pick one, and it can't be this, because then it would make that shape. So this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen. Okay. Rose windows. And mismatch. Okay, what is it that we know? We know that every dead end has to expand, because every region has to have at least 2 symbols. So this happens. 1x1s are not possible in this board. And incidentally, 1x2s are not possible either, because no 1x2 can see 2 symbols in this board. This tile is interesting, because even if it goes north, it won't find what it's looking for, so it must always go south, no matter what. Is there something similar with the squares? Yes. This cannot happen because this square is isolated. This cannot happen because this square is isolated. So this must happen and this must happen. Okay. Similarly, this has nothing this way, so it must go here. And it still has nothing, so it must go there. Similarly, this has nothing here, so it must go there and there. Similarly, this has nothing here, so it must go there. This has nothing here, so it must go there. Okay. And now this. This cannot connect to that. Must connect to this. And these must connect. And that was, I guess, the easy part done. Now comes the hard part. Here comes the hard part. What is it that we know? All right, let's think about yellow and red. So, yellow and red. First, let's ask, can yellow be a 1x3? If it is, this happens. And red has to grow. Maybe that's not a good question. Huh. Tricky. So red cannot reach here. Can it? I guess it can. What if red goes here? Then if yellow does that, this happens, and if yellow doesn't do that, it does that. So if red goes up, then it forces a 1x3, either because this, or because here yellow can just be this. So if yellow goes up, 1x3 is forced. What if yellow does not go up? Then either 1x3 is forced, or if we want to avoid that, yellow can't go there. Or wait, if we still want to avoid that, we would have to do that and that. Okay, so we will always have to force a 1x3 between these three colors. One of these has to be a 1x3 no matter what. So, no, nothing else can be a 1x3. But that doesn't force anything yet. It means this has to go up or down. This has to go this way. Or this way. Can this be teal? If that, and then teal is unhappy in its current shape. And I think this couldn't happen. Can it? 1x3 no good, 1x4 no good. 1x3 no good, 1x4 no good. 1x3 no good, 1x4 no good. So teal wouldn't be able to go this way here. So far everything was forced, right? The moment teal takes that, either this happens or this happens. In both cases that happens. If this happens, this happens. If this happens, then teal is unhappy. If that happens... this still has to grow. Now this, even if it becomes a 1x4, will still have to go that way. And now it's still unhappy. I feel like it's tough for teal to take this. What if teal doesn't take that? It still doesn't force much. What about, let's say, this tile here? If this tile doesn't belong to pink, we know one of those is a 1x3 no matter what, so pink would have to grow. And now... now things are tricky. Because now if teal takes this, then red or yellow has to take here. And both forms a 1x3 for the other, so this would have to happen. This can't happen. Either that happens, which causes this, or that happens, which causes this, this. If that closes, this goes there. And this goes here. And if that doesn't close, this goes here. And now if this closes, that goes there. And if this doesn't close, then these are the same, so one of them still has to expand. If blue expands, then this is an issue. But I'm bifurcating too deep, I don't like that. I need some more surface level logic. How about this? Can green go there? Or sorry, can we draw this? We know a 1x3 will exist here. Let me just reconfirm the existence of the 1x3, because I keep relying on that heavily. If, obviously, a 1x3 has to exist if we close one of these shapes in. So if we want to try to avoid the existence of a 1x3 in here, first of all, this has to go there. And then this couldn't happen. So we would have to do this, but then this couldn't happen. So we cannot avoid the existence of a 1x3. Wait, in fact, is this even possible? This is not even possible. Well, no, it is possible with the existence of a 1x3. Right. So a 1x3 always exists here, either because that's a 1x3 or because it goes there and it forces one of these to be. Okay. So now, if we do that, this will have to expand in order not to be a 1x3. And so what? Then could red be a 1x3? We cannot draw... Well, no, we could draw that still. Ugh, what am I missing, dude? Maybe it's not just a 1x3 that gets forced here. Maybe I'm supposed to see something else. But what? Let's ask another question. Let's ask this question, which is, our board is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 2, 4, 6. Our board is 36, size 36, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8 regions. 36 divided by 8 is what? Is it even divisible? Wait, did I do something wrong? 8. What? 36 is not divisible by 8. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6 is 36 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 regions. Oh, sorry. The regions are not all the same size. Sorry. That's not what I meant to do. What I meant to do is, we know there's a region of size 3. So we're left with 33. And then I just want to check something. If we minimize all the regions, will we use up all the tiles? In which case we are forced to minimize all regions. So minimizing all the regions means that we could have a region of size 3. So thereafter, every other region has to be size 4. And 4 times 7 is 28. But that's... I don't think we can have that many size 4 regions because the size 4 regions are Tetris, and Tetris has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes. So there can be max 5 regions. Max 5 size 4 regions. So even if we minimize and we use up all size 4 regions, we have 8 regions. So here that's 1 region, then minus 5 times 4. That's 5 more regions. So that's minus 20, that's 13. So that's 6 regions. So we need 2 more regions of size 5 or above across 13 tiles. So we're not forced to minimize. We're not forced to minimize. Okay. Although I just realized not every Tetris shape is possible. Hold on. Maybe there is merit to what I was doing. Okay, let's do it again. So, let me undo actually. So, not every Tetris shape is possible because clearly we cannot have any 2x2s. And we also cannot have any SJs, the SZs. We can have 1x4s, we can have LJs, and we also cannot have T. Okay. Max 2 size 4 regions. That's a big observation. Max 2 size 4 regions. So then -8 is 25. Here we've used up 3 regions out of 8. We need 5 more regions that have to be at least size 5. So we are forced to minimize. Five size 5 regions confirmed. All right, so we know there are 5 size 5 regions and 2 size 4 regions. All right. That's interesting. And this tile? So this tile can't be purple. It can't be green, because those are size 6 regions. It can't be pink. That's size 7. It can't be the other teal. So this must be purple. And it can only do that. And now this has to go there. This can't be teal because it would create purple. It can't be pink, too large. It can't be orange, too large. Must be green. This can be green. Can be pink. Cannot be orange. Pink or green. What else do we know? This is a really cool puzzle, by the way. The way they forced the Tetris shapes, only 2 possible Tetris shapes, and how that forced the arithmetic. Really cool. I love it. There's some interesting things I'm seeing related to this. So if this happens, it can't be a 1x3 because of the stuff over here, so it has to do that. This would have to be green. This cannot be green, it cannot be that, it must be pink. And now these two cannot be the same. Also, pink cannot go there. This cannot pick it up. That's too far. So this would have to pick it up. So that's one situation that could happen. And that all happens just because we said that this is not picking that up. Now, if it does pick it up, this happens. And is it okay for this to stay a 1x4? Well, nobody else can pick this up. If pink tried to, it would be the same as green. That's no good. And nobody else can reach. Ah, okay. So what we know is whatever happens, this will happen. Okay. And we know green either makes that shape or that shape. Ah, green cannot make this. Because then this happens, that happens, and that happens. And we have two of the same shape. Because we know that size 5 is the maximum. So this has to happen. And now someone has to pick this up. Can't be orange, because that's size 6. So it must be pink. Pink is now maximum size. Now, who can pick this up? Because if it's not this one, it couldn't be yellow or red. And it can't be blue, because it would be the same shape as pink. So the only one who can pick this up is this. And it's now size 5. Okay. What else is it that we know? We know there are exactly 5 size 5 regions. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 of them so far. We also know that we need to get both Tetris shapes, the 1x4 and the LJ. There's only one person who can be LJ, orange. So that has to happen. Now we have a 1x3, a 1x4, and a size 5 region that cannot be a 1x5. It would have to be something else. Blue couldn't be a size 5 region, because it would only do that, which would repeat. Red cannot be a size 5 region, because that's no good. And that's no good. And those are the only size 5 regions red could do. So yellow has to be size 5 region. So even if it takes that, it still has to take that. And wait, no, that's not true. Wait, what's happening? Did I break the puzzle? Yeah, I did break the puzzle. How did I break the puzzle? Was the puzzle already broken here? No, this is correct. Why is it that this... Oh, yellow can be LJ. No, wait, no. Yellow can't be LJ, because then there are 2 LJs. Because the only thing I did is this. Why is the puzzle broken there? Who else can be LJ? Oh, red could be LJ. Sorry, okay. So that was wrong to draw for me. Sorry, I didn't see that. Red can still be LJ. So let's ask instead about who's the 1x4. Could be red, yellow, or blue. That's not helpful. Well, okay, wait. Blue, we know, is either a 1x3 or a 1x4, because it can't go that far. So blue goes at most that far. Also, red can't pick this up, and neither can yellow. If red picks that up, red is size 5 and it breaks. If yellow goes to pick that up, it's size 5 and it breaks. So only blue can pick this up. Okay, and blue can't go here, so blue's forced to be the 1x4. So the 1x4 is now done. Now we just need LJ, 1x3, and a size 5 region. So the 1x3 is either red or yellow. And we also know that this is red or yellow. So here's what's interesting. It cannot be yellow. If it's yellow, yellow can't be this, but it also can't be that. So this just can't be yellow, it has to be red. And now we still need a 1x3, only yellow can be. And now red cannot pick this up, so this has to happen. Really cool puzzle. Really cool puzzle. 1x1 is done. We live in mismatch, so corners must expand. This also has to happen. Oh, and now 1x2s are done, and that means that this can be a 1x1. If it expands there, it still has to expand. And if it expands there, it still has to expand. So it has to pick both up. And now we cannot draw this border because then this breaks. So we are not drawing that border, so we must do this. This can't pick that up, so we draw that. This has to happen, this has to happen. So now we must draw this. These are different regions. This happens. This cannot do that, so it must expand. It's not the same as that. That can't be a 1x1. It expands. This can't be a 1x1, it expands. And now this must happen because of the palisade, which causes that to happen. This expands. These are not the same region. And now, if this is horizontal, it causes a triangle, which is no good, so it has to be vertical. And this can't be a 1x1. If it goes up, it can't be a 1x2. If it goes down, it can't be a 1x2. So it must always go both up and down. And now this must not be a 1x3, so it has to expand, and we're done. Is there a puzzle on this area? I don't see one. Interesting. And there isn't one down there either, it would seem. Okay. So let's continue up here then. Precision 5, corner expansion. Why am I in red? This always has to visit that, so it visits all of those, and then it does this shape. It can't do that, so it does that. This happens. Okay. This, even if it goes there, it could be the same color as that. It goes at most this far. So let's think about this color. Red can't go there, because if it does, it creates that shape. Red is not yellow and it's not blue, so this is definitely a new color. It can't go all the way in there, because then, like, if this region goes all the way there, it breaks, as we've seen. So this is some other color that's not red, but it also can't be not red or yellow, so this must be yellow. Now yellow can't connect to blue, so now yellow, even if it goes there, it must go there. Now red, even if it goes there, must go at least this far. Red and blue are distinct. And there cannot be a fourth color in here because this whole area in general only has 3 colors because it has 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 divided by 5 is 3. This area only has 3 different colors. So that's yellow or blue, that's yellow or red. Blue, even if it goes there, has to pick more stuff up this way. Red as well. Red could pick that up, but can't pick this up, so that's blue. What else do we know? Oh, this can't. No, that could be blue. No, it can be blue because it forces red to be a bad shape, so that's red. Okay. So now this could not be red because it forces blue to repeat. So it's blue. So, and blue can't be there, so that's red, so that's blue, so that's yellow. And that means here we have 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 4 is 15. We have 3 colors in this region. This cannot be blue, so it's the last color. This can't be blue and it can't be yellow because blue would create an illegal shape. So it's red. And red either does that or that. Okay. So I believe this cannot be yellow. Because if it is a yellow, then blue does that, and now the puzzle breaks. And it's also not red, so it's blue. So now that can be blue or red, so it's yellow. And I think this can't be blue because then the puzzle. So it's only red because yellow can't reach it. So red is done. Corners must expand. It could still be yellow. And it could still be blue. But this can't be blue. This has to be yellow. So now we can't draw that because this would happen. So we must draw this and this. Okay. So, here we have 2 colors. So clearly that's red. And this cannot be blue. So it's red. This cannot be blue. Because it has to pick it up along the edge, so it's red. And now red can't go there because that's not good, that's not good, that's not good. And that's not good. So this happens and this is blue. And red cannot pick both of these up. So red has to do either that or that. And that's acceptable for blue. That is also acceptable for blue. So red is doing this or this because it can't do this. And therefore these are different colors. And in this region there are exactly 2 colors. So that can't be red, it has to be blue. That can't be red, so it has to be blue. Blue can't do this, so that has to be red. So blue's forced to do that, red is forced to do this. So now this one cannot do that, so it must do this, and this has to do that. Done. Nice, that was nice. That was fun. Mismatch precision 4. So corners expand. We have 10, 15, 20. So we have exactly 5 regions. 1, 2. These cannot be the same, so 3. And none of those can be the same as that, so 4. And we have 1 more color somewhere. 1 more color somewhere. So we live in Tetris world. So we have I, L, J, S, T, and 2x2. And we have 5 regions and 5 possible shapes. So all of them must show up. Okay, all of them must show up. So red is 1x4 or LJ. In both cases, this is not red. It could still be green. If it is green, then red goes there. And if it is not green, then it's also not red, we know. Then this would have to escape. And that doesn't force anything. And the 2 different branches don't force anything that I saw. Red is L. Okay, so if red is L, then blue is forced to be SZ. And then yellow is forced to be I. So if red is L, yellow is I. And if red is not L, then red is I. So red or yellow is I. Which means that's not blue, that's not green, because neither of them can be I. Okay. So could this be the final color over here? In that case, only green could pick that up. And only red could pick this up. And purple couldn't pick that up. Neither could blue. The puzzle would break. So the key is about these 2 tiles, I think. Because only 1 more color is possible. And that final color cannot be here. The reason being is this tile is now too far. So right now we know this tile is either the 5th color or green. So if it is not the 5th color, it is green. And then the 5th color has to go there because no one else could pick this up. And now only red reaches this. Blue would not be allowed to reach that, but if purple and yellow can't, and if purple tries to, it would repeat. So what we know is this is not green, but it's also not red, blue, or yellow, so it must be the final color. Final color has to go at least there. Now only green can reach this, because yellow, blue, red can't. Neither can purple. So green has to take that. Okay, so now green is either S, Z, or T. This is not green. can't reach, purple can't reach, blue can't reach, red can't reach, yellow is the only one allowed to. Okay. Is red allowed to be LJ? It would force blue to do this. Ah, wait, there's something else. We must have a 2x2, and in this board state, only purple can be, so it has to be purple. So that solves the puzzle. Nice. That's actually the first thing we could have done. Look, the puzzle opens like this. The puzzle opens with there being 20 tiles, mismatch, precision 4. So we have to have 5 regions of size 4. Size 4 is Tetris world. There are 5 possible Tetris shapes, so every Tetris shape must show up. And the puzzle starts with 4 different regions being given because none of these can join. And none of them can be a 2x2. So the puzzle starts with saying that the final color is a 2x2. And then you have to ask, where can you fit a 2x2? Well, here, that can't be because it kills this shape. So it's not this 2x2. So it's either that 2x2 or that 2x2. In both cases, that's common. And it's not this 2x2 because it kills that region. So the puzzle already just starts like this. And that immediately solves it. Nice. Size 1 is given, mismatch, so every corner must expand. These are different. 1x3 is done, so that has to expand. These are different. Corners must expand. This can't go here because that would happen. So 1x2s are done. So 1x2s have to expand. 1x2s have to expand. And then whatever color this is, it can... okay, so this is some color that is not purple. And if it does that, it can't be 1x1, can't be 1x2, can't be triangle, could be LJ, but that's not helpful. On the other hand, if it goes there, it's not here. Even if it goes there, it couldn't go there, and it has to grow, so it would have to do that. And now purple dies, because it can't be a 1x2 and it can't be a 1x3. So that means that this is a different color than purple, but it can't go that way. It can't be 1x1, can't be 1x2, can't be triangle, must grow at least this far. And this is some color that is not red. Could it be not purple either? Well, it couldn't be a 1x1 or a 1x2 or a triangle, so no. It must be purple. And this cannot happen, because then this would either... couldn't be a 1x1, it couldn't be a 1x2, it can't connect to purple, and it can't connect to red because it would kill purple. So this cannot happen, this must happen. And this is no good, so it has to be this. Okay. So this tile can't be a 1x1. We cannot do that because it couldn't be a 1x1, 1x2, or that. And similarly, we can't draw this either because this would break. So both that and that has to happen, and this can't happen. So this has to happen, and it must be different from both of these. 1x2s are not possible, must expand. 1x3 is not possible, must expand. We're done. 1x1s are done, so corners must expand. 1x2s are done, so that has to expand. And that has to expand. These are different. 1x1s have to expand. These are different. 1x1s expand. 1x2s expand. These are different. This is forced to expand. This is forced to expand. That's forced to expand. Whatever this is. Whatever this is. It cannot do that, because if it does, well, the easy way to see it is that here we have 4 tiles. Or sorry, the easy way to see it is this is not yellow and it cannot be blue, because if it is blue, then it cannot visit this tile and it would have to create a 1x1. So this is some new color. But whenever we create a new region, we know the region can't be size 1 and it can't be size 2. It could only be size 3 as a 1x3, which this can't be. So this has to be at least size 4, and it only has access to 4 tiles because it's not blue or yellow. So this has to happen. And this has to be either blue or yellow. If it's blue, then they're the same, so it has to be yellow. I don't know if that was the intended solution path, but that's the one I went with. Mismatch polyomino. So we know this cannot happen because it exists here already and it cannot join that. So there has to be at least one border in this. If that, that's fine. If that, this border cannot exist, because we would need at least one more border, but any other border we create creates 2 1x1s. So that border cannot exist, so this happens. And now if we do that, we do that. If we do this, we do that. And we must do exactly one of them. So 1x1 will have to happen in here. So every corner must expand. And now this can't join to any of those. And now it also can't have its 1x3 horizontally, so it must be a vertical 1x3 like this. It can't join there, so it has to do this. Corners must expand. Now we can't do this variation, so we must do that variation. I wasn't done. And 1x2 is possible, but triangle is not, so this must expand. And it can't be a T, so it must expand. There we go. Mismatch precision 5 polyomino. So these two are the same. And so they will have to either do this or do that. In all cases, they're the same here. And if they do this, then this will happen, which is fine. And if they do this, then this will happen. So they won't make the same, they won't force the same shape in both cases. These two are clearly the same, and they can only see each other like that. So now this has to happen. And whatever this is cannot avoid going there. So it must go there because it's not red. Must go there, and then at that point it must do this. Oh, by the way, we also know that these have to go that way or that way. So that's not possible and that's not possible. So this is also forced to be blue. And so now blue has to be specifically this shape, which means we can't go here because that shape would repeat. So we must go here, which causes this, which means that can't happen. So that happens, this happens. Oh, and also that's blue. This happens. And now this has to pick both of those up, and that has to take that. Size 1, mismatch, 1x1, so every dead end must expand. These could be the same region. This is not yellow. So if it is blue, a 1x2 is created, and if it's not blue, then nothing. So nothing is forced there. This is some color other than orange. Okay, this... Let's see. So... Hold on. Let me just do this. This is not blue. And... the point is, a 1x2 has to exist here, I think. If we try to avoid a 1x2 existing, we would do that. I guess that's possible. Ah, wait. Maybe we can't... Yeah, we cannot draw this border, because if we do, this happens. So we must do that, which means we must do this, which means we can't do that, so we have to do that. And now... 1x2s are still possible, so we don't know. We just know that triangles are not possible. So that means that if yellow decides to go here, it must go here, but 1x1s are not possible. And triangles aren't, so that would happen. That's if yellow goes there, and if yellow... Ah, so 1x2 is forced in here, isn't it? Because either 1x2 happens like that, or if we try to avoid it, we go there, can't stay there, have to go here. That can't stay 1x1. We want to avoid 1x2s, and in fact we can't, because this couldn't do this, so this would happen. So either yellow is a 1x2, or it forces this corner purple to be a 1x2. So 1x2 always exists in here, so it cannot exist elsewhere. So this must expand, and it cannot expand further. 1x1 has to expand, can't stay as a 1x2, cannot stay as a triangle either. It must go at least that far. And now I think it cannot go there, because 1x2 can't exist here. Can't be a triangle, and it can't be an SJ either, so this would break. So therefore, this has to stop here. And now let's ask about this green. Can green be different than purple? The answer is no. Because green can't be a 1x1, it can't be a 1x2, it can't be a triangle. So it simply cannot be different than purple. So green and purple must connect. And they cannot, in connecting, they cannot leave a 1x1 behind, so they must pick everything up. Okay. Where does that leave us? This is not possible. Because then... Or no, it is, sorry. No, it's not. Because then that's not possible. That would have to happen. This has to expand. Can't be a triangle, can't be a T, can't be an SJ, can't be a P. So it can't be anything. So this can't happen. So this happens. Can't be a 1x1. Could be a 1x2. If it goes there, it's forced to be a triangle. So it just has to be a 1x2, and this has to pick up the rest because it can't be a 1x2 or a triangle or an SJ, and then it's forced to be this. Done. 5 more puzzles before gilding. Mismatch precision 5. Okay. Alright, let's start with this tile. This tile has to be different than this tile, because if it tries to pick it up, it can't do it like that, and otherwise it's too long. So those two tiles are different. And now, could this be some other tile that's not red or blue? In that case, it must always escape this way. It couldn't go there because it would cut blue off. So it's either then this, well, then blue has to escape here at least. And then this has to always be blue therefore, and this always has to be blue. And now blue couldn't pick that up because yellow would repeat. So that would have to be yellow. And then yellow couldn't do that, so it would have to do that, but then blue couldn't do this, so it would have to do that, and it would cut red off. So we know blue and red are different, but this can't be different from both. So this is blue or red. If it's blue, it's specifically that, which would cause a repetition. So it's not blue, so this is red. And for these two to connect, they have to grab both of these, because if they avoid either of them, the game breaks. So they must pick both of those up. Okay. So this is all forced. This has to be blue, because if it's some other color, then blue dies. So it's blue. This doesn't have to be blue, because this technically could still happen. What about this? Well, this couldn't be red. So if it's not blue, then the game breaks, so this has to be blue. This can't be red. Can it be non-blue? No. So this has to be blue. So now that's blue or red. If it's red, then the game breaks. So it's blue. That's red. This happens. We have... This needs 2 more tiles, and then there are 5 tiles left, so we have 2 more colors. This can't be yellow, because it's too far. Yellow can reach at most there. So those are not yellow. Okay. I think this has to be green, right? Because if it's not green, and I think this will have to be yellow. I think that's the solution, because if this is yellow, then green has to repeat red's shape. So that's not yellow, so it's green. So now either we do this, but then yellow repeats blue, so we can't do that. So then this has to happen and we're done. Mismatch polyomino. This is a size 2. That's a 1x2, that's a 1x3. What are we meant to see here? Something with this, I bet. Yeah, this can't do that. And it cannot do this, because that's not possible and that's not possible. So this can only do this. So that forces a 1x1. So corners must expand. 1x2 is not possible, so this has to happen. And now this cannot happen, because 1x2. This cannot happen, because 1x2. So this must happen. Well, also 1x1s are also already existent, so every corner must expand, and this can't go there. And it still has to expand, and it can't stop there because it would be a triangle, so it has to expand further, which forces this. And now this has to happen and we're done. There's something here. Mismatch precision 5. This can't go there. This can't happen. Because that's not good, that's not good, that's not good. There are 9 tiles here, which means this has to go there, because if we do this, 9 tiles are not divisible by 5, so this has to happen. And now some more things need to happen. In other words, these are 8 tiles. There's something in here that will take 5. And the remaining 3 must connect to something of size 2, which means red can't go further up. And then we also know that there are 2 different colors here. So either if this is red, then this is forced. On the other hand, if that's red, then I don't know. But we can see that this can't be purple, because if it tries to be, it's too large. So it's some color other than purple. And that color can't cut purple off, so it can at most go there. And then purple would force it to do this. On the other hand, if it doesn't go there, then now this can only be purple, because if it was something else, it would get cut off. And then this can't be that. Could be that or that. And this would always have to expand, and it couldn't be that, so it would have to be this. I'm not sure what that tells us, though. Well, it just tells us that whatever is here has to go here, at least. Because it can't, like, even without purple's presence, these would get cut off. So, like, whatever is here always has to pick that up, and therefore has to pick these up. And it also can't avoid going into that tile as well, because it would cut purple off. So this all has to happen. And then we also know it can't go there. And now this can't do that because it would cut purple off. So this is the deepest it can go. So it still has to expand at least there. And we also know it can't do that. So now it actually has to do that and this and this. So what does that mean? Well, I guess this yeah, this can't go here, because look, if it goes here, that's no good, that's no good, that's no good. So this has to happen, this has to happen, that has to happen. And now this can't be red, because we showed that if it was red, this would happen, which is bad. So this is the color that's not red in this region. So this is red. And now red couldn't do that, because this would break. So it has to go there. And then it can't do this, so it has to do this, and we're done. Okay. Oh, where is this bridge? Where is that bridge going? It's going to the central island, which we have no vision on. This has a bridge, which goes under this rock. So that island has a bridge to this. And there's also a bridge there to that level, but we have no vision on what is over there. There are two converging bridges and we don't see where they lead together. Ah, this window has a nice reflection here. The boss puzzle is in there. Ooh, and we still have at least one thing after the boss puzzle. Wow, I actually... Oh, it's up here. Precision 5. So every corner must expand. And also, whatever is in here cannot go there. Because then... issue happens, because it can't pick all of those up. So whatever is here is different from what's here. In fact, this... let's look at it differently. We cannot draw this. So let's just look at it like this. We cannot draw this, right? Because there are 6 regions in here that are not divisible by 5. So this must happen. But when that happens, this can't pick all of them up. So there's at least one different color somewhere in here. But the thing is that when a different color shows up, it needs 5 tiles, and there are only 5 tiles. So these are all a different color. And so now this has to expand, and it will either take exactly those two or those two. And in both cases, it will create a certain shape. This can go at most that far, which means that there is always a color here that can't connect in there. And this can go at most there, so it still has to go here. And in fact, this can't be yellow because it would create the same shape that blue is forced to create. So that's not yellow, but it can't be a new region. So these have to connect. So now blue can't connect there. So this has to happen. And this happens. This has to do that. This has to come out. We can't do that because it would repeat blue and it would cut stuff off. So we must do this. And now this can't be yellow. So it's some new color. The new color, even if it picks everything up, it still has to expand. Plus it can't pick everything up because it would cut yellow off. So it has to come out at least this far. And now this can't be yellow because these would have to belong to that color, and that's no good. So yellow is that, and this has to pick both of those up. This expands. Whatever this is cannot avoid going there, so it must go there, but then it must pick both of these up, and it must be this shape specifically. And then now this, if it avoids going there, it can't do that, and it can't do that, so this is broken right now. So it must go there. And now that's possible, that's possible, that's possible. Anything is possible. The world is your oyster. These can't connect, so they're different. This expands. It cannot be the same as blue. I would cut that off there. So blue now, even if it picks both of those up, still has to go there. Blue can't pick both of these up. So, and it can't do that. So I think, and if it does this, it does that. So, what do we know? Oh, we know it either has to do, it can't do that. So it can't avoid picking this up. If it tried to, it would break or break. So blue must always pick this up. Now purple, even if it goes there, it must still go there. And now purple can't do this because it would break. So it must do that. Okay, purple can't do that. So that has to be blue, and blue is done. This expands. If these are different, then red breaks. So they're not different, so they're the same. So now this can't happen. Or can it? Maybe it can. This can't happen though, so this has to happen. And this is some new color that's not red or orange. Orange will do one of those patterns. Red can't do that. It does that or... Oh, it can't do this either. Okay, sorry. So this happens, this happens. This happens. That's not possible, so that happens. This can't connect to orange, so it's green. And we're done. So we're now at... We're gonna be at exact with the boss puzzle, but does that mean that I didn't find any hidden puzzles? What the heck? How did I not find any hidden puzzles? Or maybe there are no hidden puzzles. Strange. Oh, there's one. Precision 5. One of these has to go up, because if none of them goes up, it breaks. So we know that we have exactly one of them going up and the other two going against each other. So this, it can't be green that goes up. Wait, hold on. Let's say this is blue, this is red, this is green. So green can't go up, because if it does, this tile breaks. So, and blue can't go up, because then this tile breaks. So red has to go up. Then, we know that either blue or green have to do that shape. So that means... I believe that means that green has to go there, because if this happens, then the puzzle breaks. So that's green, that's blue, and we're done. Gilded. Boss puzzle remains. We have found one hidden puzzle, because we'll be at +1 with the boss puzzle. There's really only one hidden puzzle in this region, or did I just miss more things? Let's take a closer look at this area here. Nothing hidden besides the boss puzzle. Or like near it. Can't see anything here. Can't see stuff there. We've completed, it seems, all the stuff that's down there. Done with this area. That's a new region. Oh, look at that hidden puzzle. Wow. Damn. That's probably the best hidden puzzle so far. Like, the most hidden puzzle, I mean. Mismatch precision 6 polyomino. Okay, so these are the same. And they can only... they are now in 2 different columns. And they're both in different columns and different rows. So one of them is the 1x2 portion and the other is in the 1x5 portion. The 1x5 portion cannot be horizontal or in this column. It must be, therefore, exactly this. Because there's no other way to put the 1x5 while picking both of these up. So it's specifically that. These two are the same. And the way these shapes work is that once you start moving somewhere, it's just a bunch of orthogonal 1x2 stacked together. So, and we have to take 6 steps. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not good. So it has to be this specifically. Okay. What else is it that we know? This expands, and could it be different from this? Something is up with the lighting here. The dark colors are way darker. Is it because we're inside the house? I think we're inside the house, right? And so the colors are much darker in there. That's interesting. Can these be different? No. So these are the same. So now this consists of 1x5 with a 1x2 attached orthogonally. So this has to be already the 1x5, and the 1x2 can't be there. It has to be specifically here. Because it can't be here, it's here. This now happens. And we cannot do that, right? Well, we could. We could. This cannot have its little arch creating a 1x1. And the 1x4 cannot be vertical because it can't join blue. So the 1x4 is horizontal and it can't be here because it would have to create an arch. So the 1x4 is here or here. In both cases, this happens. And it cannot be this because then either this happens. Well, either this happens, which breaks the puzzle, or this is forced to happen, which causes blue to die. So that can be the 1x4, this has to be, and it can't be this, so it has to be this. Now this expands. Oh, and also, like when we did the other thing, this couldn't have been blue because it would have been too large. Alright, so now if we do that, the puzzle breaks, so these have to be together. This expands, and if it tries to avoid being this, then maybe it's possible. Anyway, dead ends have to expand. Well, let me ask, what happens if these are together? In this shape, a dead end is either a part of a 1x4 if it's this can't be, so, or it moves and it does 2 orthogonal steps, it can't be that, so it must be this tile, which moves and does an orthogonal 1x4, and before the final step it does that, which would force this, which would force a repetition. So these cannot be together. So this must happen, this must happen, this must happen. This needs 2 more. It cannot pick that up, or sorry, it could either do that, it cannot do that, it could do this. Wait, this is not the same shape as that. That's not possible. That's not the same shape as that. Okay. Anyway, let's think about this. That's a dead end. It could be the 1x4 dead end. If it's not the 1x4 dead end, then it either does this, which breaks yellow. So if it's not the 1x4 dead end, it couldn't be this, because that is forced to create an orthogonal 1x4, which can only fit here, and we saw that breaks yellow. Because that's no good, that's no good. So then, if it's not the, if it's not this, like if it's not that tile, it can't be this. If it's that tile will do this, and then it will do either that, which is fine here, or this, which would cause seems fine. Could be this. And the last option, if it's that, then this and that, which breaks this region because this picks two more up, so it can't be this. Okay, so this is not the horizontal and it's not that, so it's specifically this followed by either that, which forces this to die, so it's not that, so it's this, which causes this to happen, that to happen. And now what? Okay, so we already started. Both of these need 4 more tiles, and there are exactly 8 more tiles, so no new colors can be introduced. And this can reach at most that, so this is green. Green now could still reach, well, green can't reach that, because if green reaches this, it somehow cuts yellow off, so that's yellow. And now green couldn't reach this because it would repeat that shape, so that's yellow. And now yellow has 4, so yellow can reach 2 more. It can't reach that because it would make that shape, so that's green, so that's green. And now green can't go there because yellow would repeat this shape, so that's yellow, and so that's green, and we're done. Hooray. Okay, so I actually have to do some more searching because that was very well hidden. So we're not ready to do the boss puzzle yet. I'll do another comb through the area, but let me just take a quick break. Be right back. Alrighty, I am back. So let's take another good look around because that was really well hidden. Let's make sure we're not missing anything. For example, there's another open door here. Is there anything inside? Oh, there's a hole in the back of that house. Look at that. That's not ideal. Nothing here, nothing there. Or is there? What about these windows? What if one of the windows has a gap? Don't see anything. What about this? No. Those are done. That's done. These are done. Nothing there. Oh! Okay. Mismatch precision 5. So dead ends expand. This cannot... Can it avoid picking this up? The answer is no. This must happen, and now can we do that? The answer is maybe. The other thing we can see is this, if it picks... let's see. If this happens, this happens. And if this doesn't happen, then this happens. And then either this or this must happen. So either these or... Okay, what about... What about... How many more regions exist, by the way? One, two, three, four, five. There are 5 regions in this area. 5 regions, and right now the 3 we see are not the same. Yellow, blue, and red. They're different, and there are 2 more. And this has to be one of them, because it can't be red, yellow, or blue. And the last one is not so clear where it exists. Could it, I wonder, could this be not yellow? Because it's not red and it's not blue, because blue can't go in there. Could this avoid being yellow? Then we would need... That's no good. If this is not yellow, it could be, it couldn't be, okay. If this is not yellow, something interesting happens. We can't do that, and once we do that, this happens, and once we do this, this happens, which means that if this is not yellow, then either yellow has to go up, and then it's this, or purple goes here, and then it's this. And that can't happen, and that can happen. Okay, so if this is not yellow, it can't go there. And we know that this is not red or green or blue, because green can't grab it, red can't grab it, blue can't grab it. We know there are exactly 5 colors in here, and right now we see 4 of them. So if this is the 5th, it couldn't do that, as we've just shown. So then if that's the 5th color, yellow has to go here, purple goes there, yellow goes there. All of this gets forced. Oh, and that's the solution. Oops. Okay. Point is, this could be the last color. If it is not the last color, then it's specifically yellow. And in that case... I don't know. Ah, but wait, there's something interesting. This could not be purple. We know that's not red, it's not yellow, it's not blue. It's either green or purple, but if it's purple, the puzzle breaks. Why? Well, purple couldn't do this because then green has to then green matches this shape. So then we would have to do that, but this also breaks. So we know that this is green. And now, if green tries to avoid visiting this shape, it breaks. So it must visit this tile, I mean. So this has to happen. And green could go as far as that, or this. So it's almost forced to make this shape. This is the alternative. But this can't be green no matter what. Could it be purple? No. This has to be yellow. Green can't reach it, red can't reach it, blue can't reach it. Either yellow or the fifth color reaches it, but if it is the fifth color, it would have to cut yellow off no matter what, so it has to be yellow. And now this could be green or yellow. This can only be green. No, it could be yellow as well. It could be yellow as well. Okay, that is all we know. Ah, this cannot be yellow. If that's yellow, and then these are both green and we break. So, this has to happen. And now this can't be blue. It could be red. But no matter what, yellow can't do that. So yellow could do this and then has to go here. It always has to go there. And now green, even if it grabs this, must grab that. This could be red or purple. What else do we know? I think this has to be blue. Did I accidentally delete that? I think we proved that earlier. If it's not blue, then the puzzle breaks. This, could that be not blue? No, because then red has no room. So that's blue too. So now either that's blue or that is blue. This can't be blue because this tile breaks. So that's blue. So that's yellow, that's green. That's not red, so it's the last color. And we're done. How did I not find this before? Did I not, like, look here at all? That's weird. So many unsolved puzzles that were after I thought I found everything. We're at +2 now with the boss puzzle +3. That looks much more like it. Anything up here that I didn't solve? Ooh, another open door. Oh, this was the one we found. Okay. I think I'm ready to do the boss puzzle. Wait, that door, is it open? No. One final quick check. That is a new area. Is that door open down there? Is there a pixel where you can see something in there? I wonder. Who knows? I really hope there are puzzles that are really hidden like that, where you have to like... I mean, I don't know if I hope for that, but it would be interesting. It will also be annoying, so I don't know. Maybe it's better if they didn't do that. Alright, let's go do the boss. Mismatch rose windows. Okay. There seems to be a lot of regions in this puzzle and not that many tiles. So... is this gonna be one of those where like all the Tetris pieces get forced and stuff like that? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12? 12 regions. And let's see how many tiles. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 9, 8, 7, 5, 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 8 is 23. 23 plus 9 is 32. 32 plus 9 is 41. Plus 8 is 49. Plus 7 is 56. Plus 5 is 61. Plus 3 is 64. Let's confirm across the columns. 3 plus 5 is 8. Plus 7 is 15. Plus 8 is 23. Plus 9. Oh, it's a symmetrical shape, isn't it? Plus 9. What did I say? 3 plus 5 is 8. Plus 7 is 15. Plus 5 is... plus 9, sorry. 15 plus 9 is 24. Wait, no. 7 plus 8, sorry. Wait, what? I'm confused. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 7 is 15. Plus 8 is 23. Plus 9 is 32. Plus 9 again is 41. Plus 8... it's the same numbers. 41 plus 8 is 49. Plus 7 is 56. Plus 5 is 61. Plus 3 is 64. So it is actually this... the rows and columns are the same. Look, it's 357, 899. 357, 899, and then it's 8753, 8753. And the same is true with the columns. 357, 899. And here's what 357, 899, 8753. It's the same in all directions. Interesting. So anyway, 64 tiles, 12 regions. And is it gonna be the case that if we minimize regions, that even if we minimize regions, we end up with the maximum number of tiles? Well, let's try. Minimal regions is... minimal regions. One region of size 1. One region of size 2. So let's do it like this. Size 2 region can have 1 maximum. Size 3 region can have a maximum of 2. So this is like 1 tile. This is a 2 by 1. This can be, you know, it can be this or this. Size 4 is Tetris, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Tetris pieces. So this is 1 tile, this is 2 tiles, this is 6 tiles, this is 20 tiles. So far we have 29. I don't actually know how many size 5 tiles exist, but or shapes. But right now, if I had to guess, right now we're missing 45, so 9. I don't know. Sorry, not 45, 35, so 7. Are there more than 7 size 5 tiles? Because actually it would be more interesting if there were less than 7, because then something gets forced. What are the size 5? So you can have a 1x5. You can have a 1x4 with an attachment either here or here. After that, you can no longer have 1x4s. So then with a 1x3, you could either go into a 1x2, or you could have 2 1x1s on the edge, or you can have the opposite 1x1s, or you could have 1x1s, one on the edge and one here, or opposite. Oh no, we did the opposite, or opposite. And these are not the same shape. Oh, you can also have them on the same side. Okay, wait. So you could have 1x5, or you could have 1x4 with this, or 1x4 with that in the middle. You could have 1x3 with 2 tiles with a 1x2, or a 1x3 with this 1x2, or a 1x3 with a 1x1 and a 1x1 here, or here, or 1x3, 1x1 opposite side, 1x1 opposite side, opposite side, or 1x1 in the middle on both sides. Those are all the 1x3 options. And then you could have 1x2. Can't form a 1x3, so we'll have to turn. And now this 1x2 can't form 1x3, so it either has to turn backwards or this way. here it can't go down, or I guess it could. And then we finish like that. Or we could do this and finish like that. Or we could do this and finish... Oh, those are the same. The alternative is that we don't go this way and instead we do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it either goes here or here or here. I believe these are all the shapes. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're not actually forced to minimize because we could have like some number of size 5 regions and then like 2 size 6 regions or whatever. So we're not actually forced to do this, so let's think elsewhere. Let's look at the actual grid. This has to expand, because even if it goes here, it won't find its other shapes. There are 3 types of symbols for rose window. Even if this goes here, it can't pick up, it can't continue, so it must go this way. And we don't know anything more because it could avoid picking up this triangle. Specifically like this. And that's okay. Or it could pick up this triangle. And this square. And even that square, so we don't know much. And it could even do that. So we don't even know about this tile. Wait. We know that there are at least 3 symbols, so we have to delete this row and this row. So... here we are at 26. There's gonna... we can't only have... wait, no, we could. Hang on. Are size 3 regions even possible anywhere? No. Size 3 regions are only possible if there are 3 different symbols orthogonally touching each other, but all the symbols are offset onto one bishop's color, which means that you cannot pick up 3 symbols with 3 steps. So we have to delete this row as well. That's interesting. So, interesting. Wait, but then we need at least 12 regions. If we pick up 5 regions of size 4 and 8 regions of size 5, 8 regions of size 5 is 40. 40 plus 20 is 60, so that's acceptable. So that means that we could even grow at least 5 of the size 5 regions to be larger, so there isn't that much pressure. Could we avoid size 4 regions altogether? The answer is no. We need at least 1 size 4 region, because if all 12 regions were size 5... No, wait, what? If all 12 regions are size 5, that's only 60 tiles. So we could, in fact... or am I... wait, I'm confused. 12 regions of size 5 or 60 tiles. But then how come that if 4 of them or 5 of them were size 4, it's still 60 tiles? What? Wait. We need 12 regions. If all 12 are size 5, 12 times 5 is 60. On the other hand, if 5 of them are size 4, then 7 of them have to be size 5, which is 55. Okay, earlier I just did wrong arithmetic. I said 8 of them would have to be size 5, but it was 7. Okay. Never mind. So we could even cross this out if we wanted to. Interesting. So we don't know anything. We know that all 12 regions could be size 5, and then some of them would have to be even larger. Okay. Then let's search elsewhere. This, even if it goes here, has to go there. Has to go here. Has to go here. Has to go here. This now has to go here, 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 here. This now has to go here, here. Forces this, this, this. This goes here. Okay, I wasted a bunch of time counting, and in the meantime, the puzzle had a lot of forced moves due to the rose windows. My bad. What's going on over here? Oh, mismatch. Dude, I totally forgot about mismatch. Oh. This can't do that, so it has to do this. This, even if it goes here, it would still have to go north, so it always goes north. And even if it goes there, it must still go here. And... this cannot do... or can it? Maybe it can. Well, one of these has to expand and stop, right? Because they can't both be this. And they can't both be this either. So exactly one of them expands and the other exactly does not. Okay. And then because one of them does not, it means that this has to expand. If it expands here, this happens, this happens, this happens. Because of this shape, this happens. Because of the symbols, this happens, and now this couldn't do that. So, this, even if it expands here, it must still expand there. And now this can't be that, so it must expand and stop. And now we also know that this can't stop like that because one of these will expand, but have to stop. So this can't stop here, but it's also this. So it must go here, and this must do that, and that forces some action. That forces some action. It forces this action. Dude, it turns out this puzzle was much easier. I just wasted a bunch of time with useless work. Oh well. All right. What else is there? Well, this is something that doesn't belong to the other colors that we see. Let's make this blue, red, yellow, green, purple. These are all different because they all see a red rose window symbol. Okay. Let's first look at purple. Can purple be this? No. Can purple be this? No. Can purple expand further? No, no, no. Therefore, purple can never be that, so it must be this, which forces a lot of action. This can only now be blue, because it cannot be purple, it cannot be green, it cannot be yellow. It cannot be red, so it must be blue. This cannot avoid being blue, so it is. Yellow still needs blue, so it grabs it. Ooh, do we have any size 4 shapes back here? No. We have size 5 shapes. This and this. No, that's 6. This. We have a T, so green can't be a T. So this happens, which locks these in. Blue can't be a T. Alright, this puzzle was much easier than I would have thought. Yeah. But it was fun. It was a good puzzle. Nice. I think that completes this area, doesn't it? Wonderful. Wonderful. So next time we can either go to minimum or this new mechanic, which is solitude. Each region contains a single symbol. Oh, we are reaching the meta level where the rules reference the rules. Interesting. Now that's fun. That's a really cool mechanic. I like that. I like that, but this is a second layer area because, or a third layer, I suppose. So we're not gonna go there because this one, after entering the forest, this one was the first layer. This was a second layer. That's a second layer. And that's a second, or wait, no. Wasn't this a second layer this way? Palisade was second layer. Area number was the beginning. So area number was layer 1. Palisade was layer 2. Match was layer 2. And minimum is layer 2. And Mismatch is actually layer 3. So I should have actually done minimum, because minimum is layer 2 and Palisade was layer 3. And this is layer 4, solitude, so we shouldn't even be there. We should do layer 2 minimum next time first, if we want to go by layers like that, which I think makes sense to do it that way. Though it probably doesn't really matter. You can probably explore the game however you want. And so this solitude will take us to this area. Where even is its window? I don't even know where its window is. I don't see it here. So maybe it opens this whole thing up. Oh yeah, see, there are windows there. Yeah, these must be the final layers, the final layer that contains 3 different branches. So yeah, I think we just have to do this next. Minimum. This is minimum's window. And then I guess, yeah, see, there are 3 routes that will open up. So maybe after I do minimum and I start here, after I finish this tutorial, then I assume these 3 lines will open up. This line, and this line. And that will culminate in 3 different windows. So these will be the combinations, right? The combination puzzles of the various mechanics. And they will culminate in... There's a large boss puzzle here, here, and this one, I guess. And solving the windows will culminate in what? I don't even know what it culminates in, because there isn't a guardian box here. Maybe that's... Oh, that's the guardian box. But this has an area before it, so... It's not like the forest where, like, you had to solve the 3 guardian... Or, like, the 3 boss puzzles, and immediately following them was a guardian before the next large area. Here it looks like even after you solve the 3 bosses, they still lead to an area before a guardian, and that will be the guardian here. And then we explore further into the citadels. And maybe there will be the inside of a mountain or some shit over there. Interesting. Alright, I am excited to continue. And we'll pick up there next time with this. We are at 419. That is all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.